Hey there everybody, this is going to be a video to show my loadout for the 2023 year, at least for the start of it. I'll do one more of these in about 6 months time, if anything changes, which hopefully, maybe, probably will. If it doesn't, I'll probably do an update showing, I don't know, how the gun's going or if anything else has changed. So, to start off with, probably the most important part, the gun itself. This is a double Eagle M904G. I will just double check that. Okay, this is actually the M904G. It's sort of based off of the Honey Badger. The whole body's polymer, you can hear. But all these sort of, what are these accents, sort of, I don't know, mag release, bolt release, selector, bolt, charging handle. They're all metal, same with these bolts. These are screwed through bolts. This is also metal, as well as the dust cover. I think actually, that might actually be polymer. Boom, you can also see it. Nope, that is polymer. The fake bolt is also metal. You can see it, charging handle works, but the bolt release doesn't, it's just mock. It also has one of these sort of stocks, I don't know what you would call these, but there's also another model of this gun that comes with a normal buffer tube, M4 buffer tube. But yeah, anyway, you've probably seen it in the videos. This gun doesn't look the exact same as it has before. This is because I have done a paint job on it yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. Yeah, I think I like it. It's sort of, it might not turn out correctly on camera, but this is a very dark red, almost burgundy. It's got black, grey, and a sort of very light grey. It might look white on camera, but it is actually grey. I sort of took inspiration from video on Evite's channel. They did a 308 M4. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Mike. But I like the color scheme, so I took the greys and added more red to it. I think he only had the red trigger. But list of internal components is going to be running across the left side of the screen right now. You can take a look at those. Some of them may not be the best choice, but it's what I chose. This is sorry, just to quickly add, this is the first gun that I've actually took the gearbox apart and changed stuff inside. I've only been playing Airsoft actually since February 2022, so yeah. Anyway, outside, this has a max adjustable trigger. This is only because I wanted an adjustable trigger, not because of anything. Of course, I think it's completely overpriced for what it is, but it's the only adjustable trigger that is good. So yeah. Anyway, the sight is some Amazon red dot. Not sure what it is, but it was I think it was cheap with a 1/3 riser, I think. I have some Velcro here on the back for extra patches, because more patches, more better. These little power cords that you can see attached to the back and the front, these are for attaching a sling, because this looks like an M-lock slot. It is a QD mount, but well, it's big enough, but it's in such a place that you can't actually attach a QD mount. So, you know, design flaw. On the front I have these little 3D printed sort of grip panels. They're on my printables page. I'll link them in the description. I have them on the bottom and on the side. I used to have a hand stop, but that got, I don't know, I think it fell off and I just didn't reattach it. I also have these wire looms, or attachment things. These are also 3D printed. These hold the tape wire, or the tape button, to this WASD M300 light. It's not super strong, but it does the job. So, again, I really like that bolt. You can see the hop-up is blue. This is from a different gun that I took, because the hop-up that comes in here, it is rotary, but with the mags that I was using at the time, it was kind of hard to get them in. Like, you had to sort of put them in and shimmy them in backwards. So, and then it actually went in because of the hop-up. So I just changed it out for this one, and this one works fine. I'm also going to add the batteries that I'm using. I'm using these 11-1 Nuprol batteries. They're 1450 milliamp hour, 11.1s, 30C, Yeah, they're not the best. Of course, this is also running a Perron, so it's wired to Dean's. They're not the best. Maybe these are actually good, but the charger that I'm using, I might not be charging them fully, or might be charging them wrong or something. I don't know. I need to get a better charger because this gun's doing some funky stuff. But to move on to the mags that I'm using with this gun, let me just get this off. Okay, so there's two types of mags that I'm using. First are these cheap ASG strike systems. This is a 5-pack, but from Land Warrior. For £25, so £5 per mag new. 140 round of four mid caps. They're nothing special, honestly. Just get one out. So these are just plastic or polymer. At the bottom you can unscrew this with like a coin or something. I've done it in the past to get the spring out, just to clean it. Not really much more. It's you can't take it apart, again, apart from taking the spring out. Yeah, they're good, they work. 140, I don't know. I mean, my speed loader is not that good anyway, so it might actually be 140. I just can't load it all the way. But yeah, decent enough mags. They feed fine. They don't even they actually keep up with the fire rate, surprisingly. But yeah, good mags. The other mags that I'm using, or that I'm going to use, I'll get to that in a sec, is what? Jesus. BTS EPMs. Oops, I just clicked something on my desktop. BTS EPMs. These are not the EPM ones, because the EPM ones, why do you need 250 BBs in a mid cap? Like, what's the fun in that? You can probably see there's a color mismatch and a little scratching here. That's because these came in as tan. The Land Warrior only had tan mags. Bought tans and just painted them black. And whilst I was painting them, I made these bullets black. I think they look pretty nice, fully blacked out. I mean, what can I say? They feed well. Again, my speed loader, I have a knockoff Odin speed loader, and they don't really want to load past like this point here, which is still a good bit to go. They should be loading all the way up to here, back down and again, but it's not strong enough. It keeps skipping. The BBs just go past the feed lips, or the feed the gear. But yeah, these mags work well. I haven't used them yet because this is all stuff that I've got before the next the game day. Next game day is the 8th of January. Today is the 1st, and yeah, I won't be playing then, but I might have other people record for me. Moving on is my grenade. This is a Tectonics Innovation Neutron. This is a, I think this is actually loaded, 209 primer. I think that's what it is, 209 primer. Impact grenade. They work really well, honestly. Like this is a one-shot version. It's blown up everywhere at my local field apart from one spot, which is the artillery at this is that enemy down in outside of Edinburgh. They've blown up everywhere, every single place, but I've thrown it twice in artillery and it's not blown up twice. So maybe it's just that spot, but it's blown up every single other place I've tried. This is a one-shot version again, so to fire it, first you put the shell in, it's out there. Or the primer, sorry, not the shell. It's out. That's it on safe, so that means that even if it hits here, it won't blow up. And then you change it to fire, and it'll hit the pin now. It's got a little, you see right there, it comes out. That hits the primer. That just creates a bang. There's no round in this, there's no explosion, it's just a bang. The only problem I've had with this, you can see on the side here, there's this pin. This is what's used to lock it basically on safe and on fire. And the only problem I've had is, for some reason, this pin, it likes to get stuck in these indents where you can't unscrew it. It's attached, this is a whole pin system. Again, this is not a gun YouTube, this is just a metal tube. You can sort of see on the side there, let me get something to show you, right there, that hole. I don't know if you can see that. There's a lot of dirt in here. I'll just like point at it, turn it around, I don't know if you'll see it, but the hole right there, There's a screw in there, and that basically is a pin, spring, screw, and you have to untighten it and then take all of this out, and then this will come off. Put it all back in, and boom. What I actually found out works really well is if you put a tiny bit of grease in there, so this pin moves up freely, up and down, fixed all of it, fixed all of the problems. Does not happen again. So, yeah. And then for the pin, it's just boom. And then this just screws on. I also really like this because you can take it apart in the field. I carry a set of screws with me. So, yeah. Moving on to the next thing. Let's go into my face protection. There's a cool addition to this year. First is my eye pro. What I use currently is these Bolle glasses. These work. A bit of dust in there. These work really well. They don't obstruct my vision at all. I can see all around me. I don't even see the frames. A lot of people say that this text at the top here, that they can see it in their glasses when they're wearing them, but I can't really see it. These are a bit expensive, coming in at about, I think, £17 or £18. And that's about $20 probably, something like that. But they're really nice. They come in see-through, this yellow, and shaded. I have all three. I've only really used the yellow and the shaded. The see-through, I don't really use see-through. Is this gonna come out? There we go. I don't really use see-through. But I use the yellow for basically everything apart from the summer, which is when, if it's a really sunny day, then I'll use the shaded. But other than that, I just use yellow. Comes with a head strap. Really great goggles. Again, everything, all this stuff here is going to be in the description as well, so you can grab it if you want. But moving on to the next thing is my face pro. This has changed throughout the year, throughout 2022, but I ended up settling on something like this. This is just like a head scarf, or some people call it like a buff. It's basically just a tube of material. Now, my mum very nicely sewed this all around, like a little brim, apart from the very front here, which just left a little pocket, which I then took just a normal mesh sort of face protection, cut out the center, and this is the nose piece, of course, and put the little, like, what's on the edge, you just basically cut it out, hot glue it in to the outside here, and when you wear this, oops, sorry, just knocked the mic. When you wear this just goes in under here like that, and you can see sort of, maybe you can see, I don't know, where the stitches end there and there, and this just sits inside of here and stays on, and yeah, it's nice. It's since it only protects just basically my mouth and my nose, I decided to also have my nose because it's a bit sore. It's a bit annoying when it's showing the nose, can't really see well, especially if it hits you hard. I started water, but you can see here just this part, so all of this is still just material, so it's basically perfect cheek weld to your stock or to your rifle when you're shooting, so or airsoft toy when you're shooting. And yeah, that's the face pro. But new addition this year is this. Now this is a bit dirty. Let me quickly wipe it. Here's a little microfiber cloth. You can probably see me in the reflection in a sec here. But this is Empire EVS. You probably see it's very scratched up. That's because I bought this second hand. You might be thinking, well, why would you buy it second hand, not just brand new? This only cost me £51. A new EVS costs about £170. Like, the lens itself, a new one, can cost, the more expensive ones, depending on where you buy it from, can even cost £60. So buying the whole thing with the lens for 51, great, you know. The foam is a bit used, sort of. I put it through a whole full wash, so it's not, you know, I'm not going to get, I don't know, there's some disease. You can also see black specks in here. That's because the person that had it before, they decided to paint it black, so I removed the sort of specks that were still on here, and washed it, give it a big old good wash so it's, you know, smells nice and fresh. And yeah, it's an Empire VS. I mean, it's a paintball mask. The cheek weld on it, not very good, but to be completely honest, at some point, unless you're using a sniper, you don't even look down the sight, so yeah. Whilst we're here, since it's already on, the camera, this is a Osmo Action 2, I think. And this is what I just used for my POV view. This has a little 3D printed plastic protector on here. I can also include that. I'll post it on my printables. It just slides over the top, and then another piece which is a circle with like a plastic thing, again 3D printed, goes on top, and that has a piece of plexiglass glued on it, so it protects the lens. These are replaceable, but coming in at about 30 for pack of 2, I still would rather just replace the tiny bit of plastic than a whole glass thingy for 15 quid. This is a mount, I think, that came with it. It just sort of unclips and opens up here. It's like a stick. Mount that I have to attach it to the mask is a 3D printed. I printed this literally yesterday. HK Army style. I can't remember what it's called, but I know HK Army make a camera mount for paintball goggles. But it's basically just a thing with a camera mount screwed in. I don't know if you can see there. Inside, sort of. Let me see. Maybe this way will be easier. In there, you can maybe see the 2 screws. But that's basically it. It's screwed through, and these 2 pieces just stick on the top, and you have a camera mount. Works pretty well. Right, moving on to my gear. Oh, before I forget. Okay, a little bit of a disturbance, but this is a camera bag. What I use is what I used. We'll see actually how the paintball mask turns out. If it turns out bad, I'll go back to what I had before. But this is just the Amazon Basics head mount. It just has a camera mount on the front, and it's just this elastic with this rubbery pattern on it. It works surprisingly well. The only thing that broke on it is this top latch here. You see it snapped off. It still works fine. Only thing I'd say, if you're gonna buy this as well, is don't put it directly on your head. Put a hat first and then this, or else it might fall off. If I put a hat on, it sticks like glue, but if I don't, it slides around like hell. So that's the head strap that I had. Next up this is the camera mount that I told you about. So this just slides over the front. You can see these 2 vent holes that I designed in. Air comes in through here, and it comes out the side here and the side here, going over the heat sink. This sort of pattern on here, that's because I had the wrong print settings on. But anyway, this is from BB Shot. You can see it survived. Nice. Again, this is broken because the design was made wrong. I forgot to update it, and it basically just has to cut it off. I'm not going to update it. I'm just going to upload it straight. It might work for you without cutting. It might not. But yeah, this is the lens that I told you about. It's just this little plastic piece that's basically a circle, or the lens here adapter to square with a little bit of plexiglass. Goes on, and of course, since this is not attached to this, this is way cheaper and way faster to print and replace than a whole thing of this with this attached. Gun cam, which I might start using again, might not, is attached to this little Picatinny to camera mount. I'm not going to unscrew it because it's a bitch to get back on. It's a little Ghost X drift camera. I mean, it's meant for sort of bike riding on the side of your head. It doesn't have any zoom function built in. It's some sort of lens, but I was using it because I had nothing else, and it was slim enough. So might start using it again, might not. Depends. Do people want a gun cam? I don't think there's anything else in here. If it's at all important, I run 3 batteries for my camera whenever I play. I switch one out in the morning at lunch, and then 2 in the afternoon. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. Actually, one more thing before I forget. Again, the anti-fog that I use for these goggles, and it works tremendously well. It's called the No Fog, or it's like the company is SOO or So, something like that. You'll find it on Amazon. The anti-fog from there, it's wipes. I use 1 in the morning and 1 at lunch. Tremendous. It works amazing. Unless you take your goggles off, it works great. Keep the goggles on. Don't take them off. That's why I reapply at lunch. If I didn't take them off at lunch, it'll probably work till the end of the day. Everybody that's tried it, my brother, my friend, my dad, perfect, no foggy, works great. You just, if you do take the goggles off at all, reapply, because then it stops working for some reason. So that's a plus and a minus. But moving on to my equipment. Here we go. So for my equipment, you can see here, actually I'm going to remove that for YouTube. Might not like it. Okay, so if you play with me, you know what's on there. It's nothing like, see, it's nothing bad basically. I can't say specific words on YouTube or else they'll be like, well, screw you. But this little, again, my mum made this, thank you, is, let me quickly get it out. If you want a custom one of these made, you can go ahead and message me on the Facebook. It'll be in the description, and I can hook you up. We can sort something out, and I can have my mum make one of these. But I wanted one that had 2 M4 mags, because all the ones that came for this is a Viper chest rig. Viper, see right there, Viper. I think I can't remember, Viper something. I don't know. Chest rig. All the ones that they have were, first of all, I couldn't find any in store, and second of all, they were triple mag, which I don't know about you. I don't even use 3 mags while I was playing. At most, I'll use 2. So I carry 2 in here and 1 in my gun, so still 3 in total. But I have the 2 of those, and this last pouch is smaller, and this is for my my grenade, and that just goes in the back here. And let me get this in. I'll put it in properly again. Next, again, thank you again. Sewed this beautifully. It's a dual pistol mag pouch here in the front. If I do end up running a pistol, this is just 2 mags here. And again, just a zip. She again sewed this amazingly. It's just a zip with some Velcro on the side. And in here, I carry memory cards and let me get it out. Chargers for the BFG. Chest rig looks great. I mean, it's never failed me. It's light. I used to run a plate carrier at the start of the year, but this works way better. There's no real reason to use a plate carrier, so. Alright, getting this back on. Sorry, YouTube. My camera stopped recording halfway through showing the sling, so I'll just quickly go over it again. So this is the Viper VX sling, I think, something like that. I don't know. You'll find it. The Viper sling. Make sure it's the one that's like adjustable here. Quickly to go over this. If you want to really go for the Ferro Concepts or TRX Arms slings, go for it. But to be completely honest, the price of like 60-70 quid, I think it's a good bit too much for what you're actually getting. This is, or if you're tight on a budget, go for this. This cost me, I think, about 15 quid at Land Warrior, which is amazing. It has the adjustable bit. It's hard to adjust without having the sling actually on, but it is adjustable. I just can't exactly easily show you when I don't have it on. It's amazing. I mean, 15 quid for this. It's solid. It's got spring-loaded metal clasps here. The slack that they give you to adjust, it's huge. It's actually, I would say it's a little bit too much, even a lot too much. All the parts that need to be are metal. Everything else is material or plastic. This is never broken. This is never broken. It's amazing, and it's never slid on me before. I can probably show you below here the sort of teeth design. It's not super aggressive. It won't tear this up, but it will hold it more than fine. The spring is strong, so it's great. If I was to say buy anything from this whole video, buy this sling if you don't already have one. It is perfect. In general, just buy a sling. It'll help you so much. It'll make it so much easier to carry your gun. Anyway, moving on. Alright, to quickly move on to some miscellaneous stuff before I get onto the uniform that I wear. I use this Casio watch. I don't know if you'll be able to read that on there. It says Casio telememo 30. Maybe it's actually on the back. Oops. Yeah, telememo 30. I mean, it's solid. It's a Casio. What can you expect? I use this watch instead of my smartwatch because I don't want to get this shot out, and also this just looks nicer, especially if you've got the fill thing on. So, you know, half of Airsoft is about looking nice. So Moving on to my gloves and my hat. My hat is just a cheap sort of camel hat from what's the place called? That sports store in the UK. It's the, not cheap stuff, but it's the sports store in the UK. I'll pop the name up on screen. I can't remember it. Oh, Decathlon. That's the Decathlon. This hat was cheap. It's not super ventilated. You can see the front has a little material thing. This does get really sweaty after at lunch. It's sort of wet. It's disgusting kind of, but the hat works great. I mean, the camel's not super strong, but especially for that camera mount, as I told you, you need to wear a hat. This works more than fine. The cap's not super strong. Oh, quick tip. For anybody that is going to go playing the first time, I learned this from a guy there. I used to wear the hat with this, we call this a hood, I guess, in front. That will actually cause you to fog up more, because if fogging comes up, get strapped onto here. Flip your hat 180 degrees, so it's backwards. It helped so much with fogging, especially until I got those lens wipes. So yeah, hat is great. Gloves here, you can see they're basically blue. They've really discolored. These used to be green like this here, but they've really discolored now. These are, I think there's something. Oh, here, they're this H company. There's Hike or something. Highlands, I think. It's a UK company, and I think these are called the Viper gloves, something like that. There's black, grey, I think, and tan ones, and there's ones with and without these fingers. I think it's just without this thing here, these two fingers. I don't know. But these work really. They even work really well with your phone. Like, they've got these little pads here, and you can still use your phone whilst playing. It's got a pad here, big old thick pad, and holes in the middle of the glove. Also some reinforcements along these knuckles, sort of under the knuckle area, as well as around your thumb and on your two fingers. I think these are actually just for your phone to work. The only negative about these gloves, here, it might say the name on here. Yeah, Highlander Raptor gloves. That's it, Raptor. The only negative about these gloves, you can probably see, this Velcro is not the original Velcro. That's because this little pull tab, it's so badly sewed on, it will just fly off if it gets the first chance it can. Now, again, my mom beautifully sewed this other Velcro on now, and you can see it goes all the way down. Now, this will not come off, but originally, I think this came off like 4 times before I normally had it finally sewed on. So, yeah, gloves work. Moving on to the clothing that I wear. I won't be able to fit it all on the screen, but first is this t-shirt. It's just another camel sort of ventilated, you can see it's hold t-shirt from Decathlon, and it works great. Honestly, it's dark enough for woodland. There you go, that's what camel looks like. Nothing special, works great. Wow. Moving on to my trousers. First of all, since I don't really wear a jacket unless it's really cold, these are Polish WZ93 trousers. These are the old ones though. These are from like the 90s. This was my dad's. These have the little sort of I don't know what you call these, but these go over your shoulders. So these have these I don't know what these are. These are like, these go over your shoulders and they keep them on, as well as at the legs. They have more bands that go under your foot before you put the shoes on, so they don't slide out. Great again. Camel's dark. It's got little brown patches. Works well. The last thing on the list is this jacket. Again, same thing. The original, and yeah, same camel. Works great. Yeah, I mean, there's not much I can really say more about this jacket. It's really thick and heavy. It keeps you really warm. That's also why I don't really wear it. I just wear a t-shirt. So, oops, I sort of knocked the camera there at the end, but I think that'll be the end of this loadout video. Everything that I mentioned, I'll leave in the description. I'll leave in the description. If you have any questions about anything, or if you want to go over stuff, or if you want me to go over stuff, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I might also be doing a DMR build sort of series where I take one of my other guns and turn it into a DMR. I do have a sniper, but I just sort of, I don't know, I don't like it. It's really weird to use. I like DMR probably more, or at least I'd want to try it. So not to say that this gun doesn't shoot far, but considering the barrel length is only the inner barrel, of course, not the actual barrel. The inner barrel is a 240 mil. It struggles, okay, it struggles quite a lot. And also, since it's at a weird size, I have to have a 3/4 cylinder, if I remember correctly, which means that it's like not super, but it's got quite a lot of extra air, so it's really got that loud pop sound, which, funnily enough, not my monitor, funnily enough, this little mock suppressor, I'm not actually going to unscrew it because I don't want to incriminate myself, not to say anything, but it's got this little something inside it, and when I put it over the end, it actually does make it a good bit quieter. So yeah, it's a bit hard to screw on, but this is also 3D printed. If you want me to include, I might as well. I'll include this also on the printables. Yeah, other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you wanted, if you think it was good. Subscribe if you want to see more of this. Yeah, have a good day. Bye bye.